So for this one, I'm going to go over how to handle potential issues where you need to mark up the drawings before submitting it to the architect or engineer. So this is something where, just to give you a little background right now, on this one, we're looking at the prints and what's laid out and the door hardware set and what is shown on the electrical drawings. So the door hardware set has a lot more stuff than is actually shown on the electrical drawings. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlay the pages. I'm going to go through the door hardware set and I'm going to mark up this drawing. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to quickly go through how to mark up the drawing and then submit the RFI after that. So, okay, first thing I did is I've taken the electrical drawing, I've isolated it by extracting that page from the particular set of prints that we have. And then same with the architectural. So I just extracted this page, extract page, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to overlay these two pages. Okay, so in order to overlay drawings, what you're going to do is you're going to go to document, you're going to go to overlay pages, okay, and right here you're going to click this add button, pages from the electrical print. And then we have the pages from the rebid. As you can see right here, they're not lined up. So from there, what you need to do is you need to go do a manual align, and you're going to click known points on this building, right? So what I usually do is I usually pick the corners. Okay, and it's the same thing. You just got to make sure you choose the same corners. And then, yep, you can see now the drawing is lined up on itself. Okay. And then you can edit the color. I like to make one more of opaque than the other. So the more important one for this one is actually going to be the electrical, because I'm just looking for the architectural numbers. So I'm not really going to put an opacity on that one. I'll make that normal none. Or just make that 100%. Maybe. Okay. Okay, so you can adjust the colors right here while you're doing the drawing. So I usually make one more opaque, but this is more or less just so I can kind of get an idea of the door numbers without having to go back and forth between prints. But this is also useful if your guys need overlay drawings. So let's say they're only showing speakers in one print, data in another print, and everything's all mixed up. You can do an overlay to make it so they can see everything on one print, and it maintains the scale. So I'm going to hit OK. It's going to create a new drawing. All right, so from here, I have the door numbers, and then I have what's shown on the electrical prints as well, too. So now I'm going to open the door hardware set from the specs. And I've actually already got it in this section. So you're going to look right here. You're going to see door hardware. Now for this particular one, the ammo that helps us argue this is because if you actually go to you hit Control F to bring up the search, and you go to the multiple contract summary. You can see that in the electrical section, it does not reference anything in the Division 8 portion of it. And Division 8 is where all the door hardware is. So we're going to go back to that. So that's essentially just saying we're not responsible for that section at all. So as far as like supplying any of that stuff, that is not on us. So Okay, so now we're in the door hardware section of the specs. And usually I'd have two screens up, one looking at this and one looking at this. But since we're doing a video, I'm going to try to keep it all on one. You can see right here is door 16. Okay, so that's this door right here. So they are showing an operator on that and two handicap buttons. But I am looking at this right here, and this, oh, I'm sorry, for door 16 right down here. So we've got a continuous hinge. We've got rim exit device, which are typically crash bars. And this 21 CPS. So what I would do is I would actually look this up, and I have already done this. This is just a standard door closer. It's not an actual door operator. So we're gonna have to put in a question about that, and that's one of them. This is also showing request to exit devices. Okay. And if you go back to our drawings on the overlay for door 16, we don't show those on here. All we're showing are door contacts above. So there's no strike, there's nothing showing for us to run wires to that. So that's going to be one. Same thing, I'm going to continue to each one of these doors. This is door not numbered for some reason, only has a contact. All right, let's look at this one, E2. So we're going to look at door E2. And again, this has got a continuous hinge, fail-safe security lock, kick plate, wall cord, threshold, power transfer, and a fail. This has got a electronic strike on it. And you can actually click on this, and it'll actually bring up the link in what do you call it, in Bluebeam. Let's see, now is that going to work? Card reader, that one will work, so we shouldn't have any issues with that, but we are going to have to get power to this harness from here. And again, this is not shown on the door contact. So, and there's also not 120 shown for each of these door power supplies. So that's the way I'm going to write this RFI up, and I'm just going to do one or two here while I'm doing this video, but I'm actually going to go through each one of these doors and do something similar to what I'm doing right now. So what I like to use is I like to use the cloud with a word box over here. And for something like this, I would say a power supply and door and electronic hinge are not shown on the electrical. For this one right here, so it does have a door operator on here. Actually, since we're in the specs, so when I make this argument, what they're going to say is related section is section 28 door hardware, and that we're responsible for, actually no, maybe they won't. I'm sorry, that was in division 8. Let's see here. Is there not division 28? There it is. So this is our access control section, Division 28, and what I'm looking for, if it references us being responsible for anything in terms of the door operators or anything like that. Since those aren't being provided on the prints. Okay, so there's nothing in there hanging us up. Okay, so basically all I'm going to do is just write my notes right here about what we discovered. Who is providing door operator? No continuous hinge. Shown on plans. And basically, I'm just going to go through each one of these and mark up my drawings, and then I'm going to attach this when I submit the RFI. So this is just a way to streamline the process and with getting a response. And then this is also something you can give to your guys so they will know what's going on as well.